to episode 14 of the GD podcast. Yes, we are actually uploading 2 weeks in a row for the podcast, so, round of applause for that, I think, is needed, definitely. But no, we're back here with the GD podcast again. It is me, Callum, and Ghost, and we are going to go straight into it, of course, with what we've been playing this past week, and I'm going to start with Ghost. Go ahead and explain what you've been playing.
Thank you. Right, what have I been playing this last week? I have been playing mainly the game that has been on everyone's lips in the past week, to be honest, the new release of The Witness, which is the PS4 sort of exclusive. Of course, it's also on the PC. I did end up getting it on the PS4, though, because it's 1080p 60 frames per second on there anyway. But yeah, been really enjoying it, actually. It's been a breath of fresh air. That's the phrase I need to use.
Breath air.
I was legit thinking my way around that because I always say it the wrong way around for some reason. But yeah, I've been playing that. As I said, really refreshing to play it because it's really damn hard, and it's nice to see that the developers weren't afraid to make the game harder to make it more fulfilling. Now, at this point in time, for those who do play the game and those who know how it works, I've unlocked sort of those 2 of the lasers, very close to getting a third one, and very close actually to getting some others, but I've gotten to the point where I usually get stuck on a puzzle, and if I get stuck on it for too long, then I move on to another one, because really I find it very tedious to dwell on one. But I think that's another part of the game that developers have really nailed. They've managed to make it the game that if you don't get it the first time, if you don't get something the first time, then you can move on to something else, and I think for that reason, also for many other reasons, I think the game is really good, well worth the £30 that some people thought was a bit much at first. I mean, my first reaction, I was a little bit surprised by it, but the content you're getting out of it, I think it definitely warrants that £30 price tag, and it is a bit of a shame to see that it's being pirated so much. Apart from that, what else have I been playing? Well, that's pretty much been all that I've been playing, although very recently, Rise of the Tomb Raider, of course, released on the PC, and I have purchased that, not played it yet, and I don't think I'll play it in this next week. I'll probably wait until next week, like as in the week after next week, to play that, mostly because I want to play a little bit more of The Witness, and I'm also off on a school trip soon, so I don't really want to start it, before and then wait for a week to play it again. But yeah, bought that. Apart from that, Undertale, very close to finishing that too, and yeah, I'll finish that probably before I start playing Rise of the Tomb Raider. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Callum, you can go next. I'll let you go.
I haven't played anything. I've been having a social life this past week, and seriously,
and the last year.
It was my birthday last Friday, and I went out on
fair enough.
Thursday night and Saturday night, and throughout the week before that I've literally been out. I went out and got absolutely trolleyed on Thursday and absolutely trolleyed on Saturday.
Trolleyed, that's such a weird way of putting it.
What do you mean that's a weird way of putting it? That's the greatest way of putting it.
I don't think I've ever used that phrase.
That's such a Somerset way of putting it.
I don't think I've ever used that phrase. I don't think anyone in my whole life that I've met has actually ever used that phrase.
Well,
it must be a Somerset thing. I mean, it's just trolleyed. That's such a weird.
Is being a casual a Somerset thing as well?
I mean, includes people in, but not exclusive to Somerset. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Timed exclusive.
Yes, because that's relevant.
Whatever, man. Literally, I don't care.
Come on. How do you expect us to react to that?
I don't care.
What does that even mean?
Don't care anymore.
I literally don't care. I hate you guys.
It's Callum trying to express his gaming knowledge by saying, "Oh yeah, timed exclusive. I know what that is."
Oh no!
Come on,
I'm
you
done.
can't be angry about that.
Mirror's Edge is a PlayStation exclusive. Callum, you still here?
No, I'm busy jerking off. What do you think I'm doing? Jesus.
Damn.
My God, just carry on with this crap.
So have you not played any?
So
have you not played anything this week?
I did say that. Oh my God.
So we'll move on. I'll go say what I've been playing.
Oscar, you're being more of a casual than I am this week. You've been playing FIFA.
Well, I'll admit, I have randomly.
No,
gone back
it's not.
and
It's not the
played
fact he's been playing FIFA. It's the fact he's been playing FIFA career mode. That's when you know you're like getting into the depths.
You've been looking at my friend. You've
loneliness.
been looking at your friends list far too much, I reckon.
I looked at it once and saw you play FIFA career mode.
Yeah,
That's literally it.
I just can't.
So it may have been lucky that I saw you playing it. But
No, to be fair, I have been playing that quite a bit. I'll admit though. Call me a casual, whatever you want. But Quan, I know you go and play pro clubs on FIFA. I
pro
see
clubs
you
is
on
a different
there.
story.
I see you on there quite a lot. So
Pro
don't
clubs is a different story.
don't try and make out that you don't ever play FIFA. But
I'm not saying I never do.
But yes, I've been playing a little bit of FIFA just because I kind of didn't really have anything else to play, and it's just something you can play just whenever you want to, really. But yeah, like I going back to the Witness slightly. I mean, when I first saw that at the PS4 reveal event back in February 2013, I actually did always think it was interesting, and it just took like 2 years for it to eventually come out. So 3 years, in fact. Sorry, it was 2013 when that was out. So 3 years for it to come out. And like over that time, it always seemed interesting to me, like the colours and all the kind of moving around in the puzzles and stuff. Always seemed interesting to me. It was only until I heard how hard it was and how difficult the puzzles were, I was like, no, sorry, I can't deal with the stress of that.
Yeah, but Oscar, you found it infamous difficult, so that makes your opinion invalid.
Some of the Uncharted puzzles I found difficult, like, and I'm being serious here. The one in the it's Uncharted 3, the one where you have to.
In the chateau?
The chateau.
The wall puzzle.
Like, the wall puzzle. That one, I was like, fuck knows. I literally searched on the internet to work out how to do that. I had no fucking clue what I was doing.
Took me 5 minutes.
Yeah, I had no idea. So every single time, I still don't know how to do it. Got no idea how to do it still. Whenever I go and play that back, I have to go onto the YouTube and actually work out how to do it.
Dude,
I got
so
no idea how
easy.
it works out. But the other ones I will find fine, of course, on Uncharted 3. But like some of them were a little bit hard. And there was actually one on Golden Abyss right at the end with all these symbols on a wall with like a disc thing. I can't remember it exactly, but that was quite difficult as well. But I did actually manage to work that out myself. But
well done.
I haven't looked up a single, like, any help or any solutions or anything like that for The Witness yet, which is, I think, the way you should go about it and how you should go about most puzzle games. Because, like, after getting stuck on so many puzzles, right, it was so tempting to literally, like, search it on YouTube, for example, because you knew that the solution was just a click away.
And I knew I would do that.
Yeah,
so well, for me.
Yeah, but, I mean, the point, I guess, of it is that if you do resist doing that, if you do eventually get past that puzzle, then it's really fulfilling, and that is a really good feeling when you're playing The Witness. And apart from anything else, you're bound not to get all the puzzles at first, because the game is designed so that you actually skip out a lot of the puzzles in the beginning, and then once you know how to do them, you come back and then you find a way around them. For example, the other day I only realised, like, 10 hours into the game, I've probably played probably between 15 and 20 hours of it now. I only figured out like 10 hours into the game that there was like a boat system which took you to different places around the map, and it took me to a place I've never been before, and I was only accessible via the boat, and that particular place explained how to do a particular type of puzzle which I'd been stuck on like 2 hours into the game. So it's really well designed from that point of view to actually teach you to not get too angry at not being able to sort it out at first. But
yeah, that's
I would really recommend it, actually, to be fair. I think if you can have that level-headedness, if you can have that attitude, just to go into the game and not expect to get all the puzzles at first, then I think it can be really fulfilling.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And the one last thing I would like to mention, I'm going to quickly just lean over here. I happened to get
a dildo.
Well, yeah, thanks, Callum. But no. I happened to get my PS2 back out, and some of you who follow us on Twitter, a shout out to our Twitter at GreatnessDebates. If you haven't followed us on there, go and do that, of course. But no.
I do giveaways all the time on there.
Just the one. We gave one a Vision beta code away. But yes, no. I went and got my PS2 from upstairs, and it was actually inspired by a tweet that Callum retweeted, and it was all to do with Simpsons Hit and Run. So I ended up loading up my PS2, and of course got this absolute beauty back out, Simpsons Hit and Run, which I've been playing through. I played through the first 2 levels, and just the memories that you get from playing that game is brilliant. So I just thought I'd mention that as well, because I eventually got bored of playing FIFA and then went on to the PS2, of course.
I would have got bored of playing FIFA after 2 seconds.
So yeah, there you go. Simpsons Hit and Run and FIFA are pretty much my two, which is pretty casual, but it's not as much casual as not playing any games at all. So let's move on, of course, to the debate section, which we are entering the second week now. And Kwan,
I'm surrounded by casuals.
You are the debate bearer.
No, you're surrounded by an alcoholic with a social life and a dickhead who plays FIFA.
Well, yeah, let's.
Right, yeah, I am. I like that new name. It's a debate bearer. We had a choice of. I thought of a few debates this week, although we did agree that one was particularly. What's the word?
Debatable,
apt.
I think.
Well, I think apt
okay,
is
apt,
a nice. I like that word.
We've got
apt.
a vast vocabulary here at GreatnessDebates.
Indeed.
Hey,
And this was actually something that Oscar went and made his own opinion on in his own separate video, but I think we've touched on it before on our attitudes towards it, but I thought it'd be good to give it a good old debate again, because we do have somewhat differing opinions on it. I'm not sure about Callum, but is PlayStation Plus really that bad? Because a lot of people are getting angry, and have been for a long time now, that we're not getting AAA games on PlayStation Plus. Oscar being one of them, of course. He made his video about it last week.
Genuinely hate it. Never.
Well, I would like to open the argument actually by pointing out and asking Oscar, how can you be dissatisfied with a service you don't pay for? You don't pay for PlayStation Plus. You get free. Yes, it is. You get free games every month, completely free.
Yeah, but I can't.
Like,
just
given to you.
I can't even get those free games because I need to get Callum's bank details, so I should be able to download them apparently. So that doesn't work anymore.
So even if there were AAA games, you wouldn't be able to download them. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'd have to ask Callum for like his bank details for some.
Yeah, that's
reason.
not happening.
Exactly. So I can't physically download. When I go on them, it comes up with a message saying I can't download it.
My point is that you're not paying for the service, so I don't know how you can
but
complain about the value of it.
I don't think that takes away the concept of how bad the service is, because it actually provides. I mean, paying for PlayStation Plus isn't just like the idea of getting those free games. Of course, it's for the online service, and actually, it's Sony getting money that should be used to make the servers and everything else better. Now, that actually directly does affect me, even if I don't pay for it, because I'm still using them. Now, the PS Plus, obviously, service itself, fair enough, I don't pay for it, and I know I don't pay for that, I know Callum does. That's been a couple of occasions where I just paid for a month or whatever for different reasons, and it was also, I don't know why this happened, but originally Callum's PS Plus ran out in January, and I was going to pay a month for it, but then Callum went and bought a year anyway, and I don't know why. He never actually told me anyway, but
it was weird. It automatically went out of my account without me knowing about it.
Oh, yeah, it does do that.
Mine does it automatically.
No, yeah, you have to cancel it if you want to do that. But anyway, so that happened, of course. But there's been a couple of occasions when I have bought PS Plus, and it's £6 now in the UK. And like, fair enough, I don't pay for it, and I understand that I don't pay for it, but
what is your gripe with the games?
Huge gripe with it. Now, actually,
no, but what is your gripe with the games?
Because they're just not value. Like they say, oh yeah, it's £1,000 for all the games from 2015 or whatever. That's what it equated to.
Yeah, but that figure's never been accurate. Like, even when they had AAA games on the PS3, that figure's never been fully accurate, because they take the value when it was originally sold.
They make out it's so like amazing and such great value that getting those free games. Look back at the PS3 games that you were getting when PS Plus launched on there. There was like 1 month when you had like Battlefield 3 and Mafia 2 on the same month. Like, Christ, I would love that. Why can't we have that in here? Why can't we have, I don't know, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Watch Dogs?
See, I think the fundamental difference there, Oscar, is with the PlayStation 4, it's damn near almost essential to buy PlayStation Plus if you want to play online, and for me, that's where the problem lies. It's, what are you paying your PlayStation Plus subscription for? Are you paying to be able to play online, or are you paying to be able to have those free games? Now, I think for the majority of people, they're paying to play online because they have to pay for it. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point first. Let me finish my point.
They advertise so much. They advertise so much that is so important. That the free games are so important, and they advertise like, oh yeah, you get all these free games for a month. That is literally, if I go onto the PS4 now.
But that's because that was the original point of the service. Now it's necessary to play online. But I think for the most part, if you take one of those, because those are the two main factors, obviously, there's still the discounts you get on the PS Store, but I think for the most part, those are two main factors of it, right? If you took out the free games, would people still pay for it? Yes, they would, because they want to play online. If you took out the online, would people still pay for it? For the most part, they probably wouldn't, because before, it wasn't that popular a service, or at least as popular as it is now. So I think that's where the fundamental difference is. On the PS3, it was a service that you paid to get free games every month, and for that reason, Sony puts the money in.
Look at EA Access and look how
for
good
that reason,
that is. I don't understand.
For
like,
that,
EA
no,
Access,
that's
EA.
the point. But that's the point. EA Access, you're paying to get the free games, and back when it was on the PS3, you were paying to get the free games, so they were using that money to invest in getting the free games. Now
because they know
split the
know
money.
that people aren't using it for the free games, so they're using it like to give us
now they're having to
games,
sort of spread the money further afield, aren't they? Because even though they're getting probably much more out of it now than compared to PS3, they're still having to put, as you say, more money into the servers and stuff. Which, to me personally, I mean, I'm not a big multiplayer person. I haven't noticed much difference in it from the start of the PlayStation 4. So to me, that's neither here nor there. I really, honestly don't know if that's happened, but. You're not like that's the point. They're obviously not going to, as a result, spend as much money on giving us AAA titles because they don't need to, because people aren't going to be able to do much about it, but also B, because they have to spend a good portion of that money improving the other online aspects of it, the online infrastructure and that sort of stuff.
I just don't know why Oscar's complaining. I just don't know why he's complaining.
Well, no,
he doesn't pay
I do
for
see
anything.
see good reason for people to complain if they bought PS Plus originally. For example, we're paying for it on the PS3, and if they were expecting to get good games out of it for the PS4 also. Or, for example, if you're a PC gamer who's used to not paying at all for online, then yeah, it'd probably bemuse you a little bit that you have to pay online, but. The free games aspect I find is a little bit hard to be all that angry about. I've never been all that angry about it. I don't find it aggravating that I'm getting something for free. And you look at some of the games that have come out, I mean, you see people complaining that they're indie games. I think some of these indie games that have come out are far better than any AAA game that they could offer us right now. You have Rocket League, Transistor, Stick It to the Man, Outlast, Infamous First Light. Injustice Gods Among Us was one of the few AAA games that came out. The Swapper was amazing. Oli Oli 2, Limbo. These are all good games, right? And
I'd rather play Assassin's Creed 4. I really would, because I knew
then
I knew
all those games.
Assassin's Creed 4, yes, because Assassin's Creed 4, I put so many hours
Rocket
into
League. Rocket League
is literally the one game I picked out from 2015. I knew I played for more than about 5 hours for a PS Plus game. Like the other one I tried playing was Super Meat Boy, and I enjoyed it, but I never played it more because it was just a little bit. It was like repetitive.
But at the same time, Oscar, you're saying that's your personal stance on it, right? Because you said I've not taken any of the other games that have come out in 2015.
Let's look at the comments of our video and see what people's genuine reactions were.
That's the thing, though. Of course, people are going to agree with you if it's a rant about. Of course, people are going to agree with you if it's a rant about PS Plus. People are clicking on it to see what you like, because they'll agree with you. When I made my video about it, which also was fairly popular, people were also saying they agreed with me. So people are clicking on it to hear your opinion, and if they will agree with you if you explain it in the right way, but. Oh, well, I was going to say something else. Yeah, as you said, with you personally not putting 5 hours into games from 2015. Now, I'm not going to say 2015 was particularly good in terms of PS Plus. I actually think it got worse in terms of the free games that we got in comparison to 2014. But when you say that, you've already proved so far in this podcast that you can be somewhat close-minded to the games that you want to play. Like the most recent example you've given in this podcast is the Swapper. You didn't play that because you thought it would be too hard. Now, if you have that closed-minded attitude towards all the indie games that are coming out, how do you know whether or not you're going to enjoy those games when they come out? I know for a fact that I wasn't expecting to enjoy, for example, the Swapper when it came out. That was another puzzle game, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to enjoy it. Did I play it though? Yeah, I did, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really nice indie gem. And I think that's going to be the case for more games that come out on PS Plus in the future, but also has already been the case for a lot of the games that have already come out. People just write them off because they're indie games, despite them perhaps being good quality.
It doesn't necessarily mean... yeah, but that's the thing, though. Like, okay, let's have a look at the PS Plus games that are currently in January 2016, of course, on the service. Now, if we look at the monthly games on the PS Store right now, so we've got Hardware Rivals and we've got Grim Fandango Remastered. Now, both of those games I've heard of, and I know I've heard of them. Hardware Rivals, I remember there was some kind of beta at some point, and, I mean... I think it got average reviews. I think I got like a 6 on IGN or something. I mean...
because IGN is the mecca.
I'm just giving an example of a review.
An example? Mate, that's your only example you can ever think of.
It's just one I remembered. I can't remember like what it got from like.
You're only subscribed to IGN because of one reason, aren't you, Oscar?
One reason and one reason only.
No.
Yes, it is.
God damn it! Why would you do this? No, I'm joking.
Because it's just true.
I just find it funny the comments of those videos, but
you go on there and you make those sort of comments yourself.
Okay, go and check the videos and see if you find my YouTube account then, Callum. Sure.
Right, let's find one on there. Oscar said the things I would do to Naomi Kyle.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
Never ever said any of this shit. I don't know where this is even coming from.
Anyway, your point, Oscar.
No. The point is, okay, so both of these games, fair enough, they're not terrible. I'm not saying they are. But there's something interesting that I wanted to pick up, actually. They said, like, they only give games which are over 70 on Metacritic on PS Plus. Now, that is
that coming from PlayStation?
That's coming from PlayStation. That's what PlayStation say. They say every single game that comes out is over 70 on Metacritic, okay? Now, so that's equate to about 7. Now...
Your maths is really good, mate.
Hang on a minute.
Jesus.
How could they possibly say that a game is going to be over 70 on Metacritic if it's coming out the same day when the PS Plus games are launched? Like, for example, sometimes they give a game away that has been released on that day. I don't know if I think Hardware Rivals was actually one. I think they actually gave that away on the same day as the PS Plus games came in for January, I believe, because it launched on the 5th of January, and that's when the PS Plus games launched for January. So how could they possibly have known that it was going to have a 70 on Metacritic at that point? They couldn't. They couldn't have possibly known that, which is, I think, is interesting. I think it's kind of a bit sly.
What's your point?
Well, the point is, I feel like they are giving these games away because... Well, as I said before, it's a lot cheaper to pay indie developers than it is to pay AAA developers. And
naturally.
And Sony are like, well, let's fucking just give away some random shit every single month because I don't want to pay as much money, which is fucking annoying because they're getting 50 quid a year from people like who want to just play online. And like, I'm thinking, okay, yeah.
Well, first off, it's
the purpose of every single company everywhere is to make money, right?
Well, yeah, that's obvious, but it's not.
They've got to take the consumer into mind. But you say that you're giving us random shit. I don't think that's necessarily the case. They're not just going to pick out any. They're not going to like use their finger and go, bang,
earlier today.
We're going to use that game.
There's vote to play games now, right? So they're doing that again. Well,
they did that once, didn't they? But even that, I didn't actually get the result I wanted from that. They voted for Grow Home. I don't know
if you saw that they're doing it again for this month.
I did.
All right. No, I haven't seen it.
So they've got 3 different games. They've got one called Broforce, never heard of it. One called Action Herc, I think. I can't remember specifically. Another one called Assault Android Cactus. What? Not heard of any of those games. Why would I vote on any of these when I don't even know what they are?
They're bad? I don't like. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say.
Try it out.
But this is exactly what I say when you write off the indie games. This is exactly what I'm on about when you write off the indie games. I mean, I would have written off a lot of the games that I've enjoyed on PS Plus so far if I was like you. That's the short and sweet
why
of it.
Couldn't they do a vote to play for 3 AAA games? That'd make it really fucking interesting. Why can't they do Killzone Shadowfall, Assassin's Creed, and Knack?
I think
those 3. I'd be like, okay, fucking hell, which one do I pick? That's more interesting than fucking 3 games I've never heard of.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say I wouldn't want that, but to complain about something you're getting for free is the basis of why I'm confused here. I mean, away from what I think and what you think, Oscar, we haven't heard much from Callum.
You have to understand it's not for free.
No. Yes, it is. For you, it is.
We're not just talking about me. We're talking about the overall consumer here. It's not just me. Like, you have to take into mind everyone else.
That refers back to my argument about how you look at it. Are you paying to get these games monthly, therefore it wouldn't be free, or are you paying for the online? Or I guess you could say you're paying for both in the full package
Doesn't
of
matter,
things.
'cause everyone
But
still
when it
cares when
comes
the free
down to
games go
it,
announced, don't
what's
they?
more important? You're obviously going to be more concerned about the online.
But that's because that's
Callum,
because Sony only
what's your
put that in
opinion
there.
on this?
It's fucking ridiculous.
I think from looking at Oscar's point of view, I think he's chatting absolute crap because he doesn't have to pay for it at all. And I completely understand that you're trying to refer to the consumer view in general. I don't think, personally, we're far enough into the PS4 life cycle yet to be able to receive as many AAA games as we'd want.
To be honest, I would actually disagree with that. I think we're plenty far into this
No,
the
I mean,
life
like,
cycle.
because Oscar's saying it like he wants a AAA game like every month or something. I don't
never
think
said
we're
that.
at
Even in the
stage.
video, I specifically said like just give us one a year. Like for the whole of 2015, we did not get one.
Well, I
You
don't
have to
watch you. I
understand.
don't watch the videos you make
For
by yourself.
some reason, I
That's
doubt that
pointless.
if we got, for example, a AAA game in December, that you wouldn't still be like pissed off.
No.
For
but
some
I know, but I
odd
know.
reason,
Look at-
one a
if
year,
saw
you
when-
would still
if you
be
saw when
angry. Like
Rocket League
one
got
every
the month,
few
the
months,
likes
maybe.
on that video were insane compared to every single other. Look at the reaction of the whole community. Every single time the PS Plus video goes up announcing what games they are, it gets like fucking 10,000 million dislikes and like 2,000
But that's because
likes. Everyone's like,
but that's
well, fuck
because
this.
it's people. That's because it's coming from people like you who have paid for it under the impression that we're going to get some incredible AAA games out of this service without actually playing what we've already got in it. Mm-hmm. And it is people like you who haven't taken advantage of what we've already got so far and haven't seen some of the good games that we've gotten out of it. And again, I'm not saying that right now we shouldn't have the AAA games. I think we should, but
It's like,
you have to be
listen,
grateful
no. Do
for
you
what
reckon?
you already have, don't you?
Do you reckon you would have put time into Resogun as much as you did if it wasn't like kind of
Resogun
pushed?
was another one actually.
Yeah,
I
like kind of as
forgot.
pushed
That's a
as
good
much
point.
as it was.
That's a very good point, Callum. That's a very good point you've raised there because it was a launch game of the PS4, so it's
Exactly.
something that you had to play. Well, didn't have to play, but like because you had like basically no games at that point, it was a game that you thought, well, I'm definitely going to play this. However, that game did get a lot of reviews before the game even launched, very very high. It was a game that was critically acclaimed, and it was also one that I knew when I looked at the gameplay. I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. When I look at some of these top-down pixelated shooters, like I'm thinking, oh, come on, not again. Like there's the amount of times.
Mate, if you're referring to Towerfall Ascension, that was like one of the best games that's come out for PS Plus. It was so fun.
I'm not referring to just
one of the
one
very
game, I'm just
few
saying, like-
game. What you said, top-down pixelated shooters.
Well,
that was one of them, and that was a damn
What
fun
was the
game.
other one?
You could play it with multiple people. It was one of the very few games on the PS4 you could actually play locally. That was fun, and like. I think that in itself, that game was a good example of you generalizing the indie games like to be like that, and immediately presume because they're a top-down pixel shooter, as you described them, to be bad. That's an example
but hang on,
of a
listen,
game that
we
did
know,
that well.
We know that Life is Strange will probably not come onto PS Plus. We know that No Man's Sky will probably not come onto
But again,
PlayStation
how do you
Plus.
know that Walking Dead Season 2 came on PS Plus?
Yeah,
Don't
but
know, isn't a particularly big
everyone likes
studio.
the season 1 more than the season 2, so I like, well, brilliant, thanks. You know, that's like, you know, I mean, yeah, fair enough. It's more AAA. It's still, you know, it's difficult to say because it was like 20 quid still, but it was, you know, it's. People still like the first one more. It's not like they're giving away the first one, are they? They're giving away the second one, which is kind of pointless considering.
But the point of that was to encourage people to buy the first one.
Yeah, there you go. It's a business move as usual.
That's the point of every company
because
Oscar to make money. Every company in the world wants to make
approach
money.
it in that way, aren't they?
Well, either
Right,
way,
can we
whatever.
move
I think
on?
We've gone on for this about 15 minutes now. So
No, you have gone on
but
about this.
again,
That's why
that
it was.
was-
That's why it was a good topic. Yeah, it was a good topic, I think.
It was, but I mean, it's going to be forever something I think we all disagree on, or particularly me and you guys. But you know,
Or perhaps not forever, because at some point we will start to get
Well,
AAA games on
I'm
PS
hoping
Plus.
for, and I think, and let me quickly read out a comment that someone actually did raise on this point. Let me quickly, because someone said it, and I'm also, someone made a really good point about it. Oh no, that was it. I don't know who said it. I'm sorry for the person who said this. If you are watching, then fair enough. Tell us in the comments or whatever. But someone mentioned that because Sony are joining their game division and their rest of their kind of entertainment divisions together to make one, people were thinking, well, there's going to be like less expenditure from two different angles, and they're all put into one company. So therefore, they might be able to like fund like better concepts of giving free games away this year or over the next year or that kind of thing, because it's all one service now. It's a little bit ominous, but I think for sure there's an element of it which I think is true. It could be that because they're joining these things together, these divisions together, it's making less expenditure, therefore they've got
I don't think there's a
potential
question behind like them having enough money to do it, because think about how much people are paying for online right now. They could obviously try much harder to get AAA games on there. I think it's more going to be a case of they'll start putting the AAA games on there when they realise when it gets to the tipping point, I guess, of people like, you know,
cancelling their
getting
and
angrier and angrier and angrier, about it, and eventually probably people cancelling their subscriptions, although that's unlikely. But
that's the thing. Sony don't need to do anything at the moment because they know that people are still going to buy it because they need it for online. So Sony are like, well, fuck it, we don't even need to give these free games. Essentially, if they didn't give any free games, no one would give a shit. That's the thing. It'd be probably better if they didn't give any free games because they get less negative publicity.
Yeah,
right, let's move on now.
Still complain about the fact we get free games. Anyway, yes, as Callum said, let's move on.
Of course.
Viewer topics.
I think I've deliberately picked a short one actually because otherwise we would have been
That's what she said.
Going on for much longer than 40 minutes, which is normally how long these things are. Although unfortunately I was on the other video looking at the comments there, but I'm going to quickly scroll down to where I found this comment for the other video.
Not prepared as ever.
Yeah. So hang on a minute. Okay, so it was from mpinks97, of course.
Hello, Matt.
He's actually called Matt's channel, but I know him as mpinks97. But anyway, we'll go with it. Viewer topic: what are the possibilities of seeing a live GD podcast? The banter would be out of this world. I actually replied to this comment saying, "Great question. We might end up joining the live GD podcast with a drunk one too, because we did actually concept of the thing of doing this kind of the idea of like having the drunk podcast mixed in with a live GD podcast. So we'd live stream it on Twitch while also consuming certain alcohol.
Beverages.
Yeah, that's something that Callum particularly is good at doing. So, you guys' thoughts on this? Because this is a very interesting concept. I thought doing those two things together.
Right, I'll start this one off.
One thing's for sure, I would get absolutely slaughtered if I actually did that, like in the house I'm in right now. So that's not going to happen until I'm at uni. Sorry,
crap, you're letting us down.
It's not. Oh come on, I would just get it in the neck.
Wow.
Like, you're so irresponsible. It's literally just, yeah.
Listen, hang on. No, listen. Right,
Callum
I think
drinks in his house 24/7, so it's not really.
I think after the atrocity that was the New Year's video.
Oh yeah.
Which I avoided because I have a social life.
Whatever, man. I think after the atrocity of that, I think we basically have to do it.
Oh yeah,
Let's
I think we have to do it at some point. It's
I mean,
but
the only way I see of doing it is we're not getting drunk on camera. We get absolutely slaughtered beforehand and then do it.
Like pre-drinking to the GD podcast.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll go out in town afterwards.
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting concept, but it would be like I think it would be so fun to do it as a live stream though, because even then, like if we do it on a video, it's slightly less because you don't get the interaction with people. But if people are watching you live and you're like pissed drunk and like everyone's like just laughing their heads off, that'd be insane.
I think we're gonna need, honestly. I think after the 5 viewers we get on Twitch, we're gonna need a bit more of a following. Personally.
No, I think I know.
The second you put drunk in the title, people will start
that,
watching.
and also if we announced it beforehand saying we're going to do a live stream in this time, people would come on over and watch it, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be an interesting thing. I think certainly we will do a live GD podcast at some point because of course we can do that anytime.
Yeah.
My main issue with that is I don't have a webcam, which is a problem for me because obviously that means I can't possibly have a face cam going on at the same time on a Twitch stream.
I do. So.
But Callum will have one. Quan obviously does have one, but I don't have one, so it'd be more difficult.
It's not that hard to get a hold of one. You can get one quite cheaply nowadays. So
you can go to Tesco and buy one.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be the best quality, but it'd be a bit better than nothing, of course. But that's probably what I would end up doing. But of course, another problem is the internet. If my internet could hold a stream full of 3 face cams, it would be quite interesting as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, of course. But that is kind of like the answer to your question, and Pinks. We're planning on doing both of those things actually, a drunk podcast and probably end up doing a live stream one as well. It's just finding the dates to do that, of course. I mean, my initial thoughts was doing the drunk podcast in April because that's when me and Quan both turn 18, which is the legal age you can buy alcohol in the UK.
You don't need to be legal.
Because we're not illegal.
You don't need to be legal.
Well, yeah, I've obviously I've drank alcohol before, but like, you know, it's
That's Callum's attitude towards everything, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't need to be illegal.
Oh, for God's sake, Quan.
We saw him doing the cocaine last.
I was more hinting towards like paedophilia and that sort of stuff.
Oh well, yeah, he's done
He
that as well.
disgusts me. Literally, you disgust me.
So there's that, of course. But yes, we'll get around to doing that at some point. But apparently, Quan's parents are way too strict for Quan to be drinking.
Well,
at
it's
the
not
age of
even
18,
that.
so...
I mean, it's not even. No, it's not that. It's just like, I think it would be disrespectful in any respects to, you know, get drunk in someone else's house for the sake of it. Like, just what's
In someone else's house? Why do you think that's bad?
as in like they're providing this house for me to live in, and I'm repaying them by getting drunk.
I do that a lot.
That's not how it works. Yeah, I know you would approach it in that way, but
this is
no,
that's
I'm not
Somerset,
doing
of course. But anyway, we'll move on to what the final topic or final section of this podcast is, because we're actually on 36 minutes currently. So
oh, quick, we need to finish. Get it under 10 minutes. Get it under 10 minutes.
that's got the videos, otherwise people won't watch. But anyway, we'll let's move on. So the what we've been watching. So actually, I'm going to start off this week because I've been watching two things. I've been watching a couple of things, so I started watching Better Call Saul season 1 again because I know that season 2 is just around the corner. So I
15th of February.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to be making sure that I'm ready for that because I kind of forgotten the story of it, if I'm completely honest. So I actually watched the first 2 episodes of that. I got to watch the rest of it all the way through. I think there's 9 episodes. I could be completely wrong. It's 9 or 10, I think.
10, I think it is.
So yeah, I've got those. I've got those to watch. I've currently finished watching episode 2. So looking forward to. So episode 2 is an insane episode, of course. The one with actually I won't spoil it. So episode 2 awesome, and also the other one, which is I know anyone who's watched that series will know which one I'm talking about, of course. But so there's that, of course. I was watching that. Also, and I think Callum, you actually watched the same film, I think, because I saw it on your Snapchat. 22 Jump Street. I ended up watching that as well. So that was an interesting one. I love the Jump Street films, so I ended up watching 22 Jump Street again because it was on Netflix. So I ended up watching that. So I've watched but 2 things today this week: Better Call Saul and 22 Jump Street. So Callum, go ahead.
Yeah, if any of you guys want to add me on Snapchat, my Snapchat is. No, I'm not saying that.
I thought it was. I was like, oh damn, Callum.
No chance. Maybe I'll put it in the comment section.
You only post bullshit shit on there anyway, so it's not like
I post stuff of me getting drunk most of the time.
Yeah.
What have I watched? Yeah, 22 Jump Street. Ride Along 2, actually, I went and saw. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it, actually. So, yeah, Quan, go ahead.
Exciting as ever. I don't even think I have watched much this week, if I'm being honest. I am finding it hard to like get into another series at the moment.
I agree, definitely.
I have plenty that I could watch, and I do think I would be able to get into some, but it's the knowledge that there's actually quite a few new series coming out, like of series that I already have watched, like new seasons that I know I'll enjoy. I need to sort of wait until those come out. So like House of Cards
season
is
2.
almost coming out. Better Call Saul, of course. Daredevil also, another one that's
I'm finding it hard to carry on watching that.
Oh yeah, Callum, there's Gotham series 2. How come you're not watching that?
I have not had the time, literally.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Because someone asked that, and I can't remember who it was as well. Someone asked it in the comments. Someone was like, "Oh, Callum is a casual. He's not been watching Gotham."
No, I haven't had the time, so I do need to catch up on that.
So yeah, I mean, as I say, I'm looking forward to those series, but not actually watching much at the moment. One thing I will say, however, is not really related to books and TV. Books.
Where do you get books from?
Well, this is where I've gotten books from. Not necessarily related to movies and TV shows, but I have actually recently ordered a book that I'm going to get tomorrow. It's the original. It's the first of a series of novels on which The Witcher was based on. So I'm going to start reading those. I know I've reached the ultimate depth of like all sadness.
Yeah.
Like, see, you're completely different from me,
books. But
right?
To be honest, I really want to see if I can enjoy those, because of course I enjoyed the world of The Witcher in terms of the video game so much. So it'd be interesting to see if that can be continued in the books. Of course, the game was based on the books, so you'd hope that would be the case.
But yeah,
I don't think it's that much
You're
different from-
completely different from me. You spend your time buying books, and I just spend my time buying vinyl.
Buying a book. You
Sorry,
see?
okay, a book, and then there's me with
It's the
like
first
one of the
book I've
best
bought in
vinyls you
months.
could ever buy in your life.
Okay, it's the first book I've bought in months, if I'm being honest. So hopefully I'll enjoy that. I don't think it's that much different, to be honest. If you compare it to, say, for example, watching Lord of the Rings and then going to read those books, I don't think it's any different to that, really.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. So
No, you're
Harry
doing it the
Potter
wrong way.
or
You
whatever,
read the books and then you watch the film.
well, no, but that the equivalent of what I'm doing right now would be to watch the film and then read the books. Like, I've played the game and now I'm going to go to see where it all started.
Did everyone? Okay, let's just clear this up. Did everyone read Harry Potter before they watched
Yeah.
the films?
No.
Every time.
Oh, Quan, you're letting us down. That's poor.
Every
Mate,
time.
I hated reading when I was a kid.
I
I'm
loved
not a
it.
particularly big fan of reading right now, but yeah,
I loved it. I still
I haven't
do.
read them at all.
I'm intellectual. I can
You're
read.
not even read them at all.
No.
Oh, Jesus, Quan.
You're missing out on half of like the knowledge
Yeah.
of the Harry Potter universe.
Like the
Seriously.
first.
Yeah, I
book,
know.
Right?
I
There's a
know
whole
people
section
say
in
that
the,
it's better.
in the what was it called in the first book? The
Philosopher's Stone.
yeah, but no, what's that? The rooms. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called. They're all different rooms. My camera's run out. But no.
God damn it.
The no. Like there's a bit at the end. You know where like.
Yeah, where Hermione's picking out the
There's
potions.
like the chest.
and
There's
then,
like the chest. The potions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the potions isn't in the film, is it?
No.
So yeah.
Everything else is, but that
Everything
isn't.
else is, but that
Yeah,
isn't.
but
Yeah.
that's gonna happen with any film book adaptation. I mean, a lot of people usually say the book's much better than the
It
film.
always is.
So yeah, I'd hope that's the case with The Witcher. Although that's impossible. It's Game of the Year 2015.
You've got to
Anyway,
plug that in somewhere.
I do.
Jesus.
Is that the end of the podcast?
Well, my camera's just run out, so yes, it is now. We're gonna wrap it up there, I suppose. Thank you for watching 41 minutes, nearly 42 minutes worth of a just pile of crap. Let's be honest. But yes.
That's not. Oh, come on. That was good.
Well,
It was
anyway.
average to poor.
Average to poor is Cam's favourite catchphrase. But of course, let us know some viewer topics in the comments. Of course, it's always good to hear lots of different viewer topics so we can use them in our videos. Let us know your thoughts on PS Plus, because that was a pretty big debate that we had in this video. And yeah, just let us know any general comments that you want to add on this podcast. And we'd like to thank you a lot for watching. And bye.
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 Bye.